Hi, my name's Troy Hicks, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my internship at Leslie's Swimming Pool Supplies. I worked there for about 5 months and finishing up my last week, and it has been an amazing opportunity. Why did I pick my internship? I picked my internship because I worked at Leslie's Swimming Pool Supplies in high school for a couple of summers. I was familiar with some of the people there and had networked with some of the coworkers and people that worked in the corporate office, and the abilities and skills that I was able to cultivate while going to school and to the university, I felt would serve well at Leslie's Swimming Pool Supplies. How did I get my internship? So if you see the guy in the far right is actually a family friend, and his name's Rick Carlson, and he works in supply chain. I had been interested in supply chain and learning more about it and what it has to do. And I had told him a couple of the skill sets that we had learned about in a couple of classes at BYUI, specifically Excel. And so I came in and talked with him, and then he set up 3 different interviews. I had an interview with 2 people that worked under him and another guy who was in merchandise. The interviews were 30 minutes each. One with Ashley Williams, who is one of my bosses now, and then the guy on the far left, Craig, and then another guy in merchandise whose name is Stafford. And each interview went really well. They were trying to get to know me. And then it turned up that a couple days later after the interview, they said that I could work with them, and they just wanted to know when I could start. And that started August 7th, and now it's December. So it's been a great time. What class helped me the most? The most helpful class was the Excel and VBA class that I took, where I learned VLOOKUP. I learned a lot about VBA, or a little bit about, I guess, where I learned how to make pivot tables. That skill set I have used the most at this job. Every day I use Excel. Every day I use VBA. And I've actually been able to learn a lot about Excel and Microsoft products while at work. I was also introduced to 2 new, one was a Microsoft product and another product called SQL while working at Leslie's. I've been able to use Access and SQL and learn a little bit about them just because of how similar I guess they are to Microsoft Excel and the further capabilities that they have. How do these experiences fit into my future plans? Or what experiences fit into my future plans? I have been able to acquire personable skills while working here. I've been able to talk with my boss, and he just told me last week that he wants to sit down and talk with me about a future job. I've been able to grow, huge learning. When I first arrived at Leslie's, I felt like everything was a different language. They had acronyms for everything, and it was kind of like starting the mission of learning Spanish. And now that 5 months later down the road, everything makes sense, but that experience of having to come into a different atmosphere, a different work culture, somewhere where I'd never worked before, and hit the ground running was probably the most beneficial experience. I learned so much in a matter of a couple months, and that is very beneficial for the future. What advice would I give to future interns? I guess the biggest advice is remember why you work. I work for my family, my beautiful wife. That was probably the most important. That's what got me through things that were hard, and that helped me because not every day was the best day. I made mistakes. People yelled at me, but I kept remembering why I worked. And I made an effort since the first day was to serve the people that I work with, my coworkers, and to go out of my way to get to know them, and that has proved incredibly beneficial. Also, I strive to love my job. I always found, what value could I add? How could I add value in different areas? And then the last would be don't stop trying. Even if people do yell at you, even if you do make mistakes, keep trying and keep having faith in that everything will work out. And it truly does. Everything does work out as we trust in Heavenly Father, and also as we work hard and as we go out of our way to continue to work. I'm grateful for this internship and how BYU Idaho has pushed me to do so, and I know it's changed my career because it's going to set me up for post graduation job, which is why we go to school, to get a job. We don't go to school just to learn and then not have a job, but it's to be able to obtain a career or employment after. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope you guys can learn from this. And thank you for the opportunity.